Things to do with 8 tons of gravel. Well, that used to be 8 tons, and I've moved it wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow to other places. Create a nice crunchy walkway underneath the grape arbor. Look at that, grapes are growing. Isn't that great? And hanging down from above, coming in from the sides, creeping over the top there. Morning glories climbing up the wire there. But anyway, nice crunchy gravel to keep the tall grasses from growing. Of course, it has ground cover underneath it to block it, so. Lay it down by the container gardens to keep the tall grasses from encroaching right up next to it. Then I can just mow out here beside it. I don't need to have gravel all the way out. But lay it down around the flower bed and in the flower bed to keep the choke cherries from growing. The birds eat all those choke cherries and then they poop them out, and oh my gosh, they just grow anywhere and everywhere. This area was taken over by choke cherries. So we laid down the ground cover and the gravel, and we'll see if we can win this one. Lay it down next to this island of green in order to keep the tall wild grasses back again. Got cosmos and small cosmos and taller cosmos, a zinnia just sitting in there. Lemon balm and lavender, red coneflower, echinacea, more lemon balm, more lavender, some of our 20-year-old geraniums out here. You can use the gravel to make a rock garden. This is my wife's doing, her work and design. Different, that's not really gravel, but you know, broken rock. Texture down there with a round rock in the middle. I like what she's done here. I didn't understand when she was doing it. I kind of rolled my eyes, but now that I see what she's been up to, it's like, wow. Gabions with various kinds of rocks in there. Little ones, tall ones. More gravel, more textures. Little bins of rocks. It's kind of pretty, I like it. And she's put dirt in cinder blocks and growing little succulents down there. They seem to be catching root and going, even though it's been like 95 degrees and horrendously dry. These are Rudbeckia black-eyed Susans that I planted from seed and then put in containers. I didn't know if they do well in containers or not. I've never done this before. But by golly, they're growing and they're getting ready to bloom. Yeah, we're gonna have some color out here. We got more over here in these containers. Right down there, there we go. And they're so close to, yeah, they're breaking open. There goes one right there, busting open, and I'm so excited. Lay it down in front of the house, in front of our little porch garden here, to keep the weeds and the mud away, because the grass doesn't grow here. I don't try to grow lawn. It takes too much water. When you live in a desert, it just seems kind of stupid to try to grow lawn. And we've got our 25-year-old geraniums right in here. It's in the cool of the morning now. This afternoon they'll be in the full brunt of 100-degree heat, and they get along all right. Just remember to give them some water and some fertilizer once in a while. Anyway, now it looks a little nicer here. Lay it down on the other side of the porch where I have the water and the hose, so I have to go back there all the time. Don't get muddy now. Keep the weeds down again. Along the walk here, again, weeds, weeds, weeds. We live in the wilds here. So lay it down and make your walkways like that. Lay it down where you have your container gardens. Again, the weeds as the buckets drip, you know, I have holes in the bottom and water them, and the water ends up the bottom, and the weeds love it, and they would fill up underneath those stands. And we decided to put gravel and just take it away from the weeds. Remember, gravel with ground cover underneath it, because gravel does not stop weeds. Weeds love rocks. They love gravel. If you lay down gravel and rocks and to keep the weeds down, the weeds just laugh because they use it for protection, and we learned all this the hard way. So you better lay down the weed fabric. But anyway, it looks nice in there, doesn't it? And lay it around this little pocket garden. Is that what we want to call it? Got more rudbeckia, black-eyed Susans, and some cosmos growing right there. Got some chives and onions, green onions, dianthus. Then we have a whole tub full of oregano. Really happy oregano. But the weeds just grow right up next to it, and boy, so much work pulling and mowing and pulling every year. And I'm hoping with all this gravel that I've laid down that my life will be easier next year, and I don't have to do so much pulling, because I'm getting older and don't have time to, or the energy to keep that up. Anyway, so what do you do with 8 tons of gravel? Well, you lay it down, of course, where you need it, on top of weed block fabric. Wheelbarrow load by wheelbarrow load. But it looks nice. Little walkway here laid down between the rose gardens and the cosmos and the yarrow and the lemon balm and mint and irises. Anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.